Wow, you just smacked, like, hi, welcome, let me drop a boulder on you. Okay, my definition of art. Honestly, it changes every day. Or maybe not every day, but it's changed a lot throughout my life. So I'll start with my definition of art now is that it is a process of just letting go of any kind of mask, any idea of who I feel like I'm supposed to be, or a thing that I'm supposed to do in order to create a mold or create which color I'm going to use or what I'm going to paint. Instead of thinking about how I'm supposed to do it, to me, art is losing all of that and letting the skills that I have or the skills that I don't have, be what they're going to be, and what comes out of it is what there is. And sometimes I'm incredibly happy with it, and sometimes I am not as happy with it, but even if I'm not happy with it, I let it be what it is, because that's important. I mean, that's super important, because art, literally, to me, art is, it's what keeps me moving every day. Like, there is no time that I look forward to more than, creating something, than, removing a piece from a mold, making a mold, preparing to make a mold, putting paint on a canvas, like writing a song, or even just practicing, all of that is art, and it's really the only thing that I'm good at. It's almost impossible to say. I always knew that I didn't fit in normal holes, normal places, normal jobs, normal social situations, and I was always a dreamer. I always imagined what I was going to do, what I was going to be, but never had anyone tell me that I could actually do those things. So inside I was like, well, someday that's what I'm going to be. And then someday turned into, it's just what I was. I started playing music. I started, this when I moved to Spain. It's always, I'm absolutely a dreamer. So. I do, as a matter of fact. So we were kind of just talking about this, but to me, I have a very unique, as far as I'm concerned, it's a unique relationship with weed, with cannabis, with marijuana. To me, it is a tool, it's a teacher, it's medicine, it's help, it's fun, it's, it's never bad for me. I never have any bad experiences because of being high, because I open my mind to everything. And so I intentionally created a space in my brain that will allow the time that I get high, the time that I smoke weed, to be also a time that I'm dedicating myself to creativity. So when I come in to the studio and I prepare everything that I need for the day, make sure that I've done all of the tasks that require a specific mental acuity. I make sure I do those things, and then once I'm done and I'm ready to just make art, then I can smoke and off we go, and who knows what happens. That's kind of interesting, because as a musician, as a songwriter, yeah, I mean, there's definitely times when you say, okay, I want to write a song, and you can't think of how to start it. You can't think of what the topic's going to be. You can't think about, which chord that you can play that's different from, the last time you wrote a song, or the tempo or whatever it is. And I just don't have that when I'm making art. Like, it's not, again, it could partly be because I've always been a musician, and with the art thing, I've specifically reserved it for this space in my brain to create it. Welcome to the neighborhood. Dogs barking, horns bleeping. And so, I don't know, artistically speaking, like as far as, making molds or making the pieces from molds or painting, I don't allow there to be a block, because if I don't know what to paint, I just start painting, and we'll see what happens. So. I don't know. I don't really have a style, because I so specifically when I'm talking about art right now, I'm not including my life as a musician. As someone who always loved art, who always, loved museums and loved spending hours wandering through museums, I got to, and I also spent a lot of time alone in my life. I prefer to be alone usually. I can just lock in with whatever I'm seeing and have a relationship with a piece that isn't based on what the person next to me thinks, or something that I already should or read about that I should think about this piece or something. But because of that, I learned to love a lot of different styles of painting, of sculpting, of any kind of creative expression, because I didn't have anybody to tell me no. I just, but I also, now I know what I like, and I also know what I don't like. So it's easy for me to say, I'm not going to make a piece like that, because I want to try something similar to what I saw here. So the story goes like this. Always in my life, I have been around lots of amazing women, from my mother and sister, grandparents, grandmothers, but then throughout my life, always the majority of my friends, close relationships have been with women. And I've always heard them say to me, I'm not happy with, the size of my boobs, or the way my boobs look, or my lips, or, I want them to be fatter, or my ass is so flat, or, whatever it is, it was always a complaint. The reason that I picked it is because I love a woman who's comfortable in her own skin and accepts, I have to use the word flaws, because that's the word that we use, but to me they're not even flaws, right? They're just different characteristics. But someone who accepts, who she is and what she looks like, and I want to use, or I chose to use women in my art because I love women, and there's nothing more beautiful. I just want to show the world what I see, the beauty, the way I see it. I don't know about my art, if my art can change society, but art in general can change society. That's without question. And we're living in a dangerous time right now, because inevitably what happens with political extremism is, especially to the right, or in this case to the right, is you get people who blame art for the way society has gone. And so you get destruction, you get book burning, you get censorship of things that everyone should see and experience, and that's dangerous. So, but I don't know about my art specifically, but if my art could change society, the reason I make my art the way I do, that you're allowed to touch it, that I want you to feel the pieces, is almost because of that political extremism. Like, this is just the body of a woman, and we should be touching each other. But seriously, we should be touching each other more. We should be loving each other. We shouldn't be fucking fighting and killing and all this other stuff. Like, but I make it for as something that can be touched, so that you can say, oh my God, I've never seen a belly that looked like that before. I want to touch it, and you can feel the waves in it, or you can touch the little hair follicles. But the other thing is that here in my studio, I have a big window with where the art is displayed sometimes, and always the neighbors pass, tourists pass, people in general pass, and you see recognition in their faces. You see when they look at it and they say, that looks like, maybe that looks like my boobs, or hey mom, that looks like you, or something like that. And that's what I want. I want people to see themselves, or see someone they know, or see, a level of familiarity where they're not scared of the body, like it's something completely separate from the person. So there you go. So this will be the easiest one by a long shot. My current plans are, now we have the website and it looks amazing. I have resolved my personal issues with living in Spain and can start the official business. That's amazing. So now I have surrounded myself with an amazing team of people, and we are going to find out how to metaphorically conquer the world. How to sell, how to get what we have in all parts of the world, and how to bring what we do to the eyes of everyone on earth.